Hi everyone, the Island Stacker here. Welcome to another one of my videos. Today I wanted to discuss a conversation I had with someone at the Royal Mint. So I'm not sure how many people would have got the email that I received maybe a week or so ago. So the Royal Mint seems to have sent out an email to people asking if they would like to have a conversation with someone in the Royal Mint around the services, etc., that the Royal Mint offer, and if there's anything that they can do to assist with that. So the meetings were due to take place in central London. With work and other things, time commitments, the travel, etc., I wasn't able to do that. So I was able to have a virtual meeting with the representative from the Mint. So we had a conversation around the kind of things that the Mint offers, which mainly was marketing stuff, I guess, the sort of stuff that they're told that they need to say to try and drum up some more business, etc. What the products that they offer. So the guy that I spoke to was mainly focused on bullion investments from the Royal Mint. He obviously outlined the different areas within the Royal Mint, so the commemorative coins, the digital services, the jewellery, and all those kind of things, just to try and outline what it is, to try and drum up, I guess, business for the Royal Mint. So I wonder why the Mint is doing these kind of meetings with, I presume, a select group of people, people that buy from them regularly, perhaps. I don't know if it's they've realised that there's a drop in customer numbers, or if they're just trying to drum more money out of people by getting face-to-face meetings in place to try and advertise more of their services and try and push those onto people. So I'm not sure what the overall reason is behind them, but I thought there was no harm in having the conversation to see what kind of stuff that they had to say. Let me know if you've had these emails and if you were able to have one of these meetings with representative from the Royal Mint, and what kind of things you discussed on those calls. So I think from my meeting, the main 20 minutes of the 30-minute conversation I had was around what services the Mint offers, as I said. So nothing overly interesting in that regard, but there was a couple of things that I hadn't realised that they said that they would offer, or that they are doing, just kind of updates from what they see from 2024 going forward. So the first one is that there is a Royal Mint shop in London. So for those that live in London or are familiar, the Burlington Arcade, there is a shop that the Royal Mint operates in Burlington Arcade, mainly for the jewellery side of the Royal Mint's business. So for those that aren't aware, Burlington Arcade is full of very expensive shops selling very expensive things. So you can understand why the Mint's probably got the shop in that area, try and get the high-end clientele that I'm sure they're probably after. But I hadn't realised that they had a shop, a physical presence. There was talk that he said that most people seem to go in there regarding coins, and he has been pushing for a physical shop as such. Why the Royal Mint doesn't have a physical coin shop as such, like some of the other auction houses, like Baldwin's, I think, has a shop, those kind of things. So potentially there is scope that the Royal Mint might have a shop in London at some point, which would be interesting, being able to go in and have a frank conversation with people face to face rather than the over the phone or instant message service that you get at the moment. I asked about current or future releases for this year. While he wasn't able to specify anything specific because most of them are under embargo, he did mention that there'll be a D-Day 80th anniversary commemoration coin release of some description. So that will be coming out at some point this year. There wasn't really anything else that he was able to say around releases. There is plenty planned, but he wasn't able to give specific details. The digigold service that the Royal Mint offers, so there's plenty of things that they offer online, so you can set up regular savers, so you spend as minimum of £25 a month and buy gold in any way that you would for a regular subscription into your ISA or anything like that. But he said that they're going to be able to do set limits going forward. So you'll be able to say, I want to save £20,000 for a new car, for example. And then once you've hit that £20,000 limit, you'll be able to redeem, as in sell that back to the Royal Mint for the value, or potentially have that realized into physical metals. So say 18 1-ounce gold coins or whatever it equates to in value wise for silver, etc. So that's quite interesting, but something that I wouldn't necessarily want to do. I'd just rather buy the metals myself as I go along. But it's interesting that they're going that way. They also spoke around metal prices, because I asked around where they see metal prices going for 2024. So they reckon that gold will probably level out at around the £1,600 mark. I know it's been around that for a couple of months on and off, fluctuating either side. So once that becomes the new normal, I think that will see gold probably stay relatively flat throughout the year. Silver, on the other hand, they said that they expect an 8 to 10% increase in silver this year, which sounds great on a number basis like that, but 10% on £18 spot price isn't a massive movement in the silver price, but that's what their prediction is for silver for this year. So we'll have to check if that comes to fruition. And then the last point that I think is quite interesting that I didn't realize that the Royal Mint would do is I questioned the why can I buy your coins cheaper at another dealer? For example, why can I go, say you release a new sovereign, why can I then go and buy it at £10, £15 cheaper at, say, Chards or someone like that? So what I hadn't realised is there's two separate branches within the Royal Mint. So there's the ones that deal with the sort of wholesale clients, the likes of the online dealers like Chards and Atkinson's and those kind of places. And then there's the other side, which deals with sort of Joe Blogs, me, you type people that go through the Royal Mint's like website, for example, if you wanted to buy coins. So they're always trying to outdo each other. So hence why potentially the branch that deals with all of the retails offers slightly better pricing, therefore dropping the purchase price from the RRP that you or me will pay on the normal Mint site. But the guy that I spoke to said that if that is the case and there's something specific that you found that is cheaper, the Royal Mint will potentially price match or better the price. So having that as an option is good to know, because why if the Royal Mint is the place that issues all of these coins, it would make sense that you would want to go to the Royal Mint to buy them. And why would they not be the cheapest place to buy these coins if you are the one making them? It shouldn't be the case that other places are able to sell them cheaper than you are, considering you're the one making them. So I think that that's a good option to have in the back pocket as such. So when you see some of these new releases come out and that they are more expensive on the Mint site. If you have the patience to go through the Royal Mint and say, I found X coin, X whatever, 10%, 20%, 30 quid cheaper, whatever it may be, on another place, they will try and price match, which I think is something that's interesting to know. And I will definitely try that at some point now that I have the gentleman's contact details. So that's kind of a brief overview of the kind of things that we discussed. And I think there's potential that they might set up more of these type of meetings with other people to try and get feedback. I did try and speak around quality control and those kind of things, but he wasn't really the best person to speak to around that, as he just dealt with bullion sort of supplying to people. So I did raise it, but there wasn't really anything that he said that he could do. But if I had any concerns, I can always reach out to contact him about those kind of things, which is nice to have, especially with the issues that I've had over the last 2 years with Royal Mint coins. So all in all, kind of what I expected from the meeting, but interesting to see some of the additional points that I hadn't necessarily realized. And I'll definitely keep badgering this person in the future if I have any issues. Nice to have a face that I can put to the Royal Mint's name, rather than it just being a case of, like I said, the email or the instant chat message function that's on the website. So yeah, thanks very much for listening. So if there's any questions or anything, if you've had any experiences of what I've discussed, please let me know in the comments down below. As ever, if you could please like, share, subscribe, that would be greatly appreciated. But thanks very much for watching, and I'll catch you on the next one.